Thank you so much, band. Let's take a nice deep breath together, yes? Knowing that we are here by that divine invitation to step into our holy self this morning. Knowing that by showing up, we are standing and we are sitting on holy ground. Coming together as a community to simply delve deep into that unknown mystery. The one that keeps us alive, that keeps us asking the questions, knowing that it's the questions that reveal our true nature. Who am I? I am the I am. You know, I was thinking about our theme for the last couple of weeks, and our theme for January is Living Everyday Wonder. And our theme for this week is Wonder, Wonder Everywhere. Isn't there a song called Wonder, Wonder Who? Who wrote the Book of Love? Yeah, we wrote the Book of Love, okay? Let me answer that. So wonder, wonder everywhere. Well, let me begin by saying that spiritual living doesn't just happen on the meditation cushion or pillow or on Sunday mornings. Spiritual living is a way of life that happens every moment of every day. It is applying our spiritual tools and principles to every area of our lives on a regular and consistent basis, a daily basis, if you will. When we do so, life somehow flows easier. Choices are clearer, and seeming miracles are everyday occurrences, simply by living a spiritual life every day. So there is wonder in every day just waiting for us to notice it, to live it, to discover it. And I don't know about you all, but I find it hard sometimes with all that's going on in the world to really open up to this amazing world that we live in. You can think about it this way, you know, because I'm talking about a daily basis here. It is our daily life that is where we encounter the divine, if we choose to do that. The wonder of spirit is everywhere, regardless of what is happening in the world, the experiences, the conditions. Wonder is everywhere. We can't escape it because we are inseparable from it. It is our truest essence. And when we become conscious of it and live in our awareness of it, our daily experiences become opportunities for transformation and for our individual and collective evolution. One of the ways that we cultivate wonder, in my opinion, is through oneness. Neil deGrasse Tyson, an astrophysicist extraordinaire, puts it this way: we must recognize that the very molecules that make up our bodies, the atoms that construct the molecules, are traceable to the crucibles that were once the centers of high-mass stars that exploded their chemically rich guts into the galaxy, enriching pristine gas clouds with the chemistry of life. I love this. I'm going to read it again because I just love it. So the atoms that construct the molecules are traceable to the crucibles that were once the centers of high-mass stars that exploded their chemically rich guts into the galaxy, enriching pristine gas clouds with the chemistry of life. So what he's saying is that we're all connected to each other biologically, to the earth chemically, and to the rest of the universe atomically. That's kind of cool, really, when you think about it. It makes me smile, that's for sure, even though you can't see me smiling right now. And I actually feel pretty important and I actually feel quite large at the end of that quote. It's not that we're better than the universe, we're a part of the universe. We are in the universe and the universe is in us. Think about that for a second. We are the universe and the universe is in us. And that's quite a statement, and perhaps it's a reminder that we need to hear that more often. So what that means is the power and the presence of the universe is living in us, and we are living in it. So nature is not something that is apart from us, nor are we apart from it. And I was thinking about this a couple of days ago because, you know, every time I'm in nature, that's where I feel more grounded than any other place physically. You know, one of the things that I heard early on as a child was, you know, if you're upset or, you know, I don't know if this was just my mother trying to get me out of the house, but she would say, go hug a tree. You know, go hug a tree or go sit beneath the tree. We used to have this huge oak tree. Go sit beneath the tree. And, you know, without realizing that was a lesson that I have carried with me throughout my entire life. That nature grounds me, and I'm sure that it works that way for many of you. So we're a part of it. Our lives, no matter how seemingly insignificant we may feel, we are integral to the unfolding story of the universe. Wonder reveals our oneness, our interconnectedness, our interdependence. Everything began as a divine idea, and form is an expression of consciousness. Notice the interconnectedness of it all. The creativity, you know, the beauty, the perfection. How many people, when it snowed, if you weren't caught in the traffic a couple of days ago, were in awe of how beautiful the snow was? You know, and most of us really, you know, like when a few days later, when all of it turns into dirt and mud and all that, you know, but for a day or a day and a half, we got this beautiful snow. And you notice how quiet it is, right? It's just like a blanket on the earth. It's inspiring. So wonder reveals our oneness, and it reveals our connection to nature. So I want you to just take a moment, maybe even close your eyes if you want, and think about a moment or an experience that you've had in your life of wonder. Or to put it another way, when you experienced awe. A moment where you spontaneously uttered the word, wow. Wow. You know, Annie Lamott calls wow the third great prayer, along with help and thanks. She tells us that wow is when we are stunned into the place without words. We even have an emoji for wow, don't we? Right? Wow. So think for a moment about a wow experience that you've had. Where were you? You know, what were you doing when all of a sudden you had a wow? Who were you with? How did you feel? If you like and you're online or here, you can tell us about it in the chat. When did you experience that wow? And these wow moments renew us by reminding us that life, and I'm talking about life with a capital L, is a gift that comes unbidden and unearned from some unseen source. Encounters with beauty and grandeur, with the vastness of the cosmos or the intricacies of the most intimate, offer us the opportunity to renew our relationship with ourselves and with the world around us. Encounters with surprise and experiences beyond the everyday, those wow moments help us to step outside of ourselves. Because when we're in that wow moment, we're not thinking about anything else except the wow, right? So however briefly, they remove us from our routine, if you will, and our expected existence. Encounters with coherence where we glean, if only for a moment, how the world works, how everything is connected, how our particular piece of the puzzle fits. This all offers us reminders that we belong to something larger, something greater than ourselves, and that we're responsible for one another. That's a bold statement. And what I mean by that is, again, we're in it together. They help us to step beyond the narrowness of me and the arrogance of our own egos. And this can be humbling, and maybe that's the way it should be. But as Annie Lamott says, or reminds us, moments of awe and experience of wonder take our breath away and make room for new breath. She adds that when we experience awe, we feel the elusive energy that moves through us and the air and the ground all the time, that usually disperses and turns chaotic in our busyness, distractedness, and our moodiness. So awe, beauty, and wonder, these are all like antidepressants, right? They really are. Each Sunday morning, we gather here, for a celebration of life. And we sing after prayer a song by Ricky Byers. Let the love wash over me. We let it be. So we let who we are be. And these words to me are an affirmation that there is a coherence, a unity to the universe, that there's some great mystery that's beyond our knowing and beyond our naming. Because we like to name things, we like to label, but this is beyond all of that. And that we, I, you and me, that we're all part of it. So just by singing that song, we can, if we allow it, encounter the renewing power of wonder and awe and love. We can surrender and let the universal love wash over our souls. All of these moments that I'm talking about of wonder, of awe, of wow, point us to one thing, one vast source of renewal, one welcome, one bubbling spring of cool and refreshing water along the demanding journey of our lives. And our lives are very demanding right now. And here's where language gets a little tricky. These experiences lead us toward an encounter, you see, with meaning. Some would say with purpose, with the holy, with the divine, with spirit. The author and cultural historian Thomas Berry puts it this way in his book, Evening Thoughts, Reflecting on Earth as Sacred Community. The universe is the primary revelation of the divine. The universe is the primary revelation of the divine, the primary scripture, the primary locus of divine human communication. And I would add to that that wonder and awe are the doorways through which we walk to encounter it. As I look in the mirror, as I look in the mirror, all I can see is a reflection of my physical self with its defects and signs of aging. Where's the child in me? Where did that child go? Where is my everlasting dream? But behind the surface, the physical appearance, I see Spirit's image. I see the light that I am. I see the light that you are. The real me resides in the innermost spiritual core, the center of my existence. We are fearfully and wonderfully made because the clay has been blessed with a divine kiss. Spirit has defined our special place in this vast cosmos, has endowed us with the capacity to do what only human beings can, to worship or celebrate what is invisible, to search for what is unknowable, and to realize what is impossible. The greatest achievement of the human spirit is that we can endure the pain, overcome the fear of death, and sing the most beautiful music in the midst of suffering, because our home is beyond the stars. But awe, you see, is much more than a feeling of reverence. It is also the source of wisdom, and it is the source of understanding. According to Abraham Joshua Heschel, the renowned scholar of Judaism, awe enables us to perceive in the world in intimations of the divine, to sense in small things the beginning of infinite significance, to sense the ultimate in the common and the simple. We can truly celebrate life regardless of our circumstances. Every little piece on the planet fits in this vast puzzle of life. Every little thing, things we see and don't see, all matter in this great web and puzzle of life. So how do we restore a sense of awe and wonder? Well, to begin with, we need to keep our eyes and minds open to new possibilities. Things will never be the same. So we have to keep our minds, our hearts, our souls open to new possibilities, new ways of doing things, because they'll never go back. We can no longer say, well, we can try and say it, well, we used to do it that way, right? That way, because that way doesn't work anymore. So now we're going to do it this way. By adopting a posture of humility and curiosity, we open ourselves to be ready to be surprised by moments of awe and wonder. You can say to yourself, I'm ready for awe and wonder. I don't know about you, but I sure am. When we confine human existence, you see, to only the five senses, what happens is we reduce life into something which we can predict and control. We diminish our capacity for wonder and awe. Our lives are impoverished to the extent we ignore the transcendental reality and higher levels of consciousness. Second, we need to avoid the trap of taking things for granted. I'm guilty of it. How many times do we take things for granted? By assuming that we already know all the answers, we automatically tune out new discoveries and understandings. And third, our lives should not be consumed by demands and desires. Remember that one does not live by bread alone. So make room to listen to Spirit's still small voice. Take time to notice and appreciate nature's artistry. Even in the dark alleys strewn with garbage and sandwiched between run-down buildings, a glimpse of the glorious sunset can take our breath away. And finally, we need to remember those moments when we were touched by a profound sense of wonder. These mystical moments in touch with our soul through the awakening of love. So this week, I invite you to stop and just look around as well as look within and find one thing in your life this week that makes you go, wow. Where there are no words, only the breath. Let's go into prayer. In this moment, this wow, wonder on wonder moment, I simply stand in the power and the presence of the one source of all. Knowing this power and presence as that which creates out of itself every minute, every second of every day. Knowing this power and presence as freedom, as love, as wonder and beauty and abundance and prosperity and all of these things. Yet it is no thing, it simply is that which has been and always will be. It is that which is the call to love, to live, and to be a stand for love, for joy, for peace, all of it. And I know this power and presence as eternal. I know it as life itself within and without. I know it as that place of safe harbor, always calling me home, always calling us all home to stand in the power of the Word. And so it is from this place that I lie open to the infinite and speak my word for this community and all of those within the sound of my voice, knowing that my life is the very life that God is the same abundance and joy and freedom and love, is the same wonder and awe. And as I know this to be the truth of me, I know it is the truth of everyone within the sound of my voice. And so it is from that place I speak this word, knowing that whatever experience may be happening right now, that we can all just stop. We can all stop and really take in the beauty and the wonder of the world, of people, of individuals that we love. How did we get here? How did we have this love just enriched and growing? Asking the question, how did I get here? I have surrendered to life, and life is surrendered to me, just like the cosmos and the stars bursting forth with life. I know that I am a part of all of this, and that we are a part of all of this, and that our lives is the very life that God is integral. It is important that we matter, and that we create from this truth, from this knowingness, from this love, from this awesomeness. I know that regardless of conditions or experiences that may be happening in the world, in our personal lives, in the universe, that we can always call upon the one source of it all and recognize and reconnect in that moment. For we are the ones that God has been waiting for. And so it is through a grateful heart that I give thanks to know this truth and to speak my word and to stand in the power of the one. As I release my word into that perfect universal law, knowing that the law always says yes, it always says yes, it always says yes. Yes, the place of grace. As I release my word now, knowing that it is so. Shalom, hamdalela, ashe, namaste. This prayer is done. I leave it knowing it is so, and so it is. Amen. That you know or don't know, and say, I am in awe of you.